Do you want to know something that might unsettle you? Something that you've likely experienced but perhaps shrugged off? The financial habits you've developed, the ones that seem harmless enough but leave your wallet empty. They're not just minor setbacks, they're traps. And no, I'm not here to overdramatize everyday spending or scare you away from enjoying life. The reality is, these habits often come with hidden costs, invisible chains that you pay not with just money, but with your future security. Do you understand why these habits feel so persistent? Think about it. Every time you succumb to one of these financial impulses, why does it feel like you're sacrificing more than just your money? It's because deep down you sense that what's happening to you isn't just a momentary indulgence. It's a test of your self-control, a subtle exploitation of your human nature. These aren't just habits, they are ingrained behaviors that often benefit others far more than yourself, typically corporations and marketers. So why do we keep giving in? Is it because we fear the discomfort of restraint? Or because we hope our spending will bring lasting happiness? Let's peel back the layers of these seemingly harmless behaviors and reveal the true nature of what it means to protect your financial energy and assert your value in monetary decisions. By understanding the real cost of these habits, we can make empowered choices that align with our principles and preserve our financial well-being. 1. The hidden nature of financial traps. When confronted with the urge for instant gratification, even if it's disguised as a harmless pleasure, you're faced with more than just a simple decision, agreeing to what society may call a little treat yourself. Moment can seem inconsequential, but each of these moments shapes our financial character and defines our economic boundaries.
Stoicism teaches us that discipline and moderation are not just ideals to be upheld when convenient, but are essential to our daily lives and the foundation of our financial character. Epictetus emphasized that our self-control is our most prized possession and must be guarded as carefully as our most valuable physical assets. He believed that each time we compromise our discipline, even in small ways, we chip away at the very core of our financial being. It's not just about the purchase itself, but about what giving into impulse says about our values and ourselves.
Similarly, Carl Jung's exploration of the human psyche highlights the dangers of habitual overspending. According to Jung, every time we engage in impulsive buying, we feed the darker parts of our psyche known as the shadow self. This shadow can grow with each undisciplined act, eventually influencing our actions and thoughts in ways that can be far removed from our conscious values and self-image. 2. Using Stoic discipline to resist instant gratification. Therefore, when temptation asks you to indulge in unnecessary spending, the most virtuous and psychologically sound response is a firm but thoughtful refusal. Saying something like, "I'm focused on long-term wealth, not temporary pleasure," not only preserves your financial integrity, but also communicates clearly that prudence is a priority in your life.
This straightforward declaration serves as a litmus test for your relationship with money. The way you respond to your commitment to financial wisdom can reveal whether you truly respect and value your future, or if you merely see money as a means to immediate gratification.
This approach is about more than avoiding waste. It's about actively cultivating a life where financial wisdom is the cornerstone of all transactions. Marcus Aurelius argued that discipline and foresight lead to freedom and security. In all financial matters, from the personal to the professional, by holding fast to wise spending, you become a beacon of financial responsibility and integrity, encouraging others to rise to the same standard. In practice, upholding these principles might lead to difficult choices and might even require lifestyle changes in the short term. However, the long-term benefits of living financially authentically and maintaining a clear path to wealth far outweigh the temporary pleasures. Your discipline not only sets you free, but also sets a standard for others around you, fostering a culture of wisdom and respect for money. 3. Managing debt with Stoic moderation. There's a delicate balance in personal finances when it comes to debt matters. It often begins innocuously.
A small credit card charge for an emergency, a casual advance on next month's paycheck, $200 here, $500 there. However, when these decisions become a pattern without any plan for reduction, it's easy to feel more like a debtor than a master of your money. This situation, while common, can strain your financial health and test personal boundaries.
In the world of Stoicism, the focus is always on wisdom and moderation. Seneca talks extensively about the danger of placing temporary pleasure above lasting virtue. He suggested that while occasional spending is natural, it should not compromise one's own stability or wisdom. When marketers or your own impulses continually push you toward debt, it's essential to apply this Stoic principle by considering not just the financial cost, but also the cost to your peace of mind. Moreover, borrowing money without boundaries can create an imbalance in your relationship with wealth. Carl Jung, who explored the deeper realms of our psyche, might suggest that such dynamics can lead to a shadow being cast in your financial life. This shadow could be the unspoken anxieties or resentments that arise when money issues are mishandled. When you borrow repeatedly without clear repayment or acknowledgement, it can lead to feelings of being trapped, undervalued, or disrespected by yourself.
Jung avoiding lifestyle inflation through Stoic principles. There's a certain weight that comes with being enticed by lifestyle inflation, especially when it's of a subtle nature. It places you at the crossroads of status and integrity, challenging you to either keep up with peers or uphold your financial principles. Often these pressures involve upgrading your possessions or lifestyle, or spending with the classic, "everyone else has one." But suddenly, you're not just a consumer, you're an accomplice in creating a lifestyle that isn't financially sustainable.
This situation draws directly from the wisdom of Stoicism, where the emphasis is on living according to virtue and reason. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once remarked that we should not merely be concerned with what others have, but rather how we respond when asked to keep up with the Joneses that involve status or showing off. Your response should align with your financial ethics, not just your social relationships. Carl Jung also touched on the complexities of status with his exploration of the shadow self. He believed that by pursuing external validation, or in this case, pursuing status through possessions, we risk integrating these shadows into our personalities, leading to inner conflicts and a dissonance between who we are and what we own. When society asks you to upgrade your lifestyle beyond your means, they're not only imposing on your financial health, but potentially inviting you to integrate vanity into your own shadow. So how should one navigate these murky waters? First, it's vital to communicate your priorities clearly and calmly. A simple yet firm, "I'm not comfortable spending beyond my means," not only sets your boundaries, but also signals to yourself and others that their expectations have crossed a line. This approach respects both your values and your financial autonomy. After all, you can choose how to allocate your resources without succumbing to pressure. Fifth, resisting emotional spending through Stoic wisdom. There are moments in life when you might look at your bank account as your escape hatch from emotional discomfort. Picture this scenario: you're feeling down about something, and rather than facing the emotions, you nudge yourself towards the comfort of retail therapy. It's a situation that tempts you to act out of misplaced emotional soothing, or perhaps fear of inner discomfort. But it's crucial to resist. Saying yes to spending as a solution to emotional pain is like setting a trap for your finances in the long run. The philosophy of Stoicism provides a strong framework for handling such situations. Seneca taught the importance of living a life congruent with one's own moral compass, irrespective of emotional pressures. When your feelings ask you to spend away the pain, they are essentially asking you to compromise your financial future for temporary benefit. Seneca would argue that true wisdom lies in recognizing the long-term consequences of such actions, both for oneself and for one's financial stability.
The immediate reaction might be to avoid emotional discomfort by spending, but consider the precedent this sets. As Carl Jung might suggest, Agreeing to use money as emotional medicine can lead to a shadow aspect of your personality that accommodates financial irresponsibility or avoidance of true healing. This not only impacts your psychological health by fostering dependence and regret, but also distorts your relationship with money, which may start to serve as an emotional crutch that creates more problems than it solves.
So how should you respond? Affirm but respectful. I can't use spending to solve emotional challenges. This not only asserts your financial integrity, but also encourages yourself to face emotions directly. This isn't just about protecting your wallet. It's about promoting a culture of emotional honesty and financial responsibility. By refusing to be complicit in the spending game, you set a clear boundary and model of behavior that respects both emotions and money. 6. Setting boundaries with small luxury purchases. We all have that inner voice or social pressure that approaches us with a seemingly small suggestion. Can't you just get this one nice thing? But as many of us have learned, what's pitched as occasional and deserved often spirals into something much larger and more financially consuming. This routine can quickly transform us from savers into unofficial spenders, constantly giving in to small luxuries that are rarely, if ever, necessary. Recognizing and addressing this dynamic is not just about asserting the value of our savings, but respecting ourselves and our goals. Stoicism teaches us about the importance of self-discipline and understanding our place in the grand scheme of things. Epictetus would advise us to recognize what is and is not within our control. Our spending and saving habits definitely fall within our control. When we let impulses decide that for us without regard to our own needs and values, we give away more than just our money. We give away our financial autonomy. So when repeatedly tempted by small luxuries, it's essential to establish boundaries. A gentle yet firm, "I'm investing in my future, not momentary pleasures," serves as a crucial reminder that while you enjoy life, your enjoyment is not an open invitation for financial exploitation. It's about ensuring that there is balance and wisdom in your decisions, which are foundational elements in any healthy financial life. Carl Jung might argue that constantly agreeing to small, unnecessary expenses, especially when it leaves us feeling financially insecure, can lead to an anxiety that festers in the unconscious. This can affect our self-esteem and how we view our capability to achieve goals, possibly making us feel less disciplined or capable in other areas of our life as well. 7. Breaking patterns of poor financial habits. In any economic system or society, there often emerges a pattern where the same financial habits repeatedly lead to financial strain or setbacks. Initially, it might seem like a minor indulgence, just treating yourself or buying something on sale. However, when these behaviors become a regular occurrence, you might find yourself becoming less of a wealth builder and more of a paycheck-to-paycheck survivor, continuously compensating for your own lack of financial discipline. From a Stoic perspective, Epictetus taught that we should not concern ourselves excessively with the actions of others unless they affect our own moral well-being. In this scenario, consistently giving in to financial temptation does indeed begin to weigh on our own ethical balance. It's not just about the inconvenience or the reduced savings. It's about enabling behavior that goes against the Stoic virtue of self-control and responsibility. Moreover, consistently giving in to poor habits can lead to a form of psychological dependency, both for our bank accounts and our emotional state. Carl Jung's concept of the shadow can be insightful here, as it suggests that by indulging these habits, we might be feeding our shadow, allowing ourselves to shirk financial responsibilities without facing the necessary consequences of our actions. This not only hinders our personal growth, but can also lead to regret and financial insecurity on our part. Therefore, it's essential to assertively say no. I can't continue this spending pattern. This simple but powerful stance is more than setting a personal boundary. It's an act of self-love. It signals to yourself that you need to take responsibility for your financial actions and face the reality which is crucial for your personal development. It also reinforces your respect for your own future and potential, teaching yourself that while you deserve pleasure, your deserving is not unlimited or exploitative.
8. Making wise decisions about financial risk.
Navigating financial life, be it personal or professional, often involves gauging how much of our security we're willing to risk. The stakes get particularly high when marketing asks you to take on a significant debt, promising future happiness, only to leave you stressed when the payments become due. It's a scenario that many of us have faced at one point or another, being asked to sign off on something financially risky, to extend ourselves beyond our financial comfort zone while the other party remains safely collecting interest. This situation is a clear red flag in any financial plan and highlights an imbalance that needs addressing. Stoicism, a philosophy that emphasizes virtue, wisdom, and self-control, teaches us to look inward and evaluate our decisions based on whether they align with our ethical principles. Marcus Aurelius once wrote about the importance of acting in accordance with one's own nature and the common good. When advertising urges you to take a financial risk that companies themselves would never share, they are essentially asking you to compromise your security for their benefit. Such scenarios also touch on the psychological dynamics of desire and responsibility. Carl Jung often discussed the shadows of our personality, those parts of ourselves that we are not fully aware of or that we prefer to ignore. When we agree to take on debts alone at the behest of marketing, we may be engaging with our shadow, ignoring the inner voice that warns us of potential danger. Jung might suggest that this is a moment to confront our shadow, to understand why we are tempted to acquiesce, and to strengthen our resolve to act more consciously. The appropriate response in these situations is to establish clear boundaries. If the cost outweighs the benefit, I'm out. This simple yet firm declaration sets a standard for rational assessment and personal responsibility. It communicates that wisdom and prudence are essential, and that you expect from yourself the same level of care and consideration that you would give to a loved one's finances. In confronting yourself with this boundary, you are not only protecting your wealth from potential erosion, but also fostering a more honest and sustainable relationship with money. It serves as a reminder that healthy financial decisions, whether in business investments or personal spending, require balanced consideration of all factors involved. In a world that often rewards the easy over the ethical, choosing financial wisdom is not just a stance, but a statement about who we are and what we stand for. 9. Surrendering to financial autopilot.
There's a subtle yet pervasive danger in modern financial life, the tendency to place your money management on autopilot. When you allow subscriptions to renew unchecked, bills to increase without scrutiny, and investments to stagnate without review, you're not just being passive, you're actively surrendering your financial sovereignty. This comfortable complacency transforms you from a deliberate wealth builder into a mere bystander of your own economic journey, watching as opportunities for growth and optimization silently slip away. The Stoic philosophers emphasize the importance of mindfulness and deliberate action. Marcus Aurelius would remind us that vigilance is not merely a virtue, but a necessity, especially when it comes to matters that determine our future security. When your financial systems ask you to trust them blindly, they are essentially asking you to abandon the Stoic principle of constant awareness and self-governance. Jung might observe that this financial sleepwalking represents a form of shadow avoidance, a reluctance to confront the sometimes uncomfortable realities of our monetary decisions by allowing critical financial matters to proceed. Unexamined, we feed a shadow aspect that prefers comfort over truth, convenience over consciousness, potentially leading to a dissonance between our stated values and our actual financial reality.
The response must be decisive and clear. I will remain vigilant and deliberate with every dollar. This affirmation is not about obsession, but about reclaiming ownership of your financial destiny. It signals to yourself that you refuse to be lulled into financial unconsciousness,
no matter how convenient it might seem. True, financial wisdom requires regular examination of where your money goes, how it grows, and whether it aligns with your deepest values and long-term vision. Thank you for being a part of Stoic Journal, where we delve deep into life's challenges with integrity and courage. For more insights on living a principled financial life, please watch one of the suggested videos on your screen. Your journey with us is more than learning, it's about transforming.